The Switch April Report with your host, Redkwan. Welcome to the Switch April 2020 Report, the series that I haven't done in a while because I've been slacking off. In these videos, I try to talk about what's happened with the Switch over the past month, what games came out, and what games are coming out in the next month, while I ruthlessly make fun of games on the eShop that somebody poured their heart and soul into. And I guess sales numbers at the end, because somebody told me to once. Hello all 2,270 of you, I'm Redkwan, and this is the Nintendo Switch April 2020 report. So let's start off with the announcements for March. We got a Direct Mini last month, and by Direct Mini, I of course mean a Direct that's just as long as a typical Direct, except without as exciting of announcements. What sorts of announcements did we get from this Direct Mini, you ask? Well, besides the fact that I'm sure you've already watched it, I also don't remember. Okay, I'll look up a summary for you just because you asked so nicely. We saw some more stuff about Xenoblade Chronicles, we saw Bravely Default 2, which is a sequel to Bravely Default 1, I'm guessing, XCOM 2, Borderlands, and Bioshock, which are all games from our good friends over at 2K, and we're also getting, most excitingly of all, Clubhouse Games trademarked 51 Worldwide Classics, which features 51 of the most classic games in the history of the world. Now believe me when I tell you, these are worldwide classics. It wasn't a very interesting Direct. Well, since the announcement section went as poorly as it did, I guess we should be moving on to the games we got in March. March obviously had Animal Crossing New Horizons, and not surprisingly at all, I haven't played it. 3 cheers for Redkwan. He's a national hero, folks. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, it seems to be a really well-made game. There seems to be a lot to do, and if you're the type of person who likes to play Animal Crossing games for 5 years, you'll probably be playing this for 5 years. Now, it also seems like some people are upset that you can only have one town per Switch, and that seems like a legitimate issue, but like I said, I don't have the game, so I couldn't tell you. But there you go. We also apparently got a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, and maybe this has been all over, but I had absolutely no idea, so I clearly know what I'm talking about. There weren't really any other big games in March, but I will talk about some of the smaller games that I find particularly amusing, interesting, or dumb. And I'm telling you, I think some of these developers are titling their games just so I make fun of them on this series. Redkwan, don't you think it's a little unrealistic for a series that gets like 100 views? Trust me, they're doing it! Well, I will have you know that I will not be talking about I Am Ball, Rainbows, Toilets, and Unicorns without an Oxford comma, or Pooplers. You tried and you failed. I will give credit to Duck Souls, though. That's pretty good. Alright, so what about these games that caught my attention pretty much by random? We've got In Bento, which is a game about cooking something called bento, which I would assume is a food, all while solving puzzles and experiencing the joys of parenting a young cat chap. Life of a modern cat can be stressful. Why don't you pause for a few seconds and relax with a few rounds of Bento? I'm not sponsored, but I should be. Next up is Dude Stop, which is a game about annoying people and getting everyone to hate you. I'm often told that I'm bad at every video game that I play from the footage I put in my videos, but I feel like I would be pretty good at this one. The videos and pictures aren't loaded for any of these, but I also don't care that much, so I can't tell you anything about the game beyond the description, but it's one of the better descriptions I've read, if that gives you any indication. It's not from Google Translate at least, which is better than half the games on the eShop. It's mean, but it's also true. And what about in April? We don't have any big Nintendo games coming in April, but we do have Trials of Mana, I don't really care either, which is one of those games that I think people care about, but it's hard to say for sure, and they usually end up not caring about them. But hey, better safe than sorry. I mentioned it, okay? That's more than I did for I Am Ball. Actually, no, it's not. I've mentioned that like twice. Well, anyways, in more important news, we also have Snaky Bus. Does it look like it's a quality game? No idea, gameplay still won't load. But the one image that they give you, oh baby, now that's some Snaky Bus. It seems to be a giant 3D version of Snake with a bus in a city, which for the record is a way cooler idea for a Snake spin-off than Astro Bears. Yeah, I said it. Don't know how they pulled it off, but as I'm imagining it in my mind, it's pretty sick. We also have Moving Out, which is a game that looks like Overcooked but slightly worse. If you don't remember Overcooked, then you're not cool enough to understand anyway. And then there's Esports Legend. Apparently it's about building up an esports team, and while that sounds like something that would make me angry and want to sit on the floor for a week, I also have no idea what it means. So I actually took the effort to go off of Nintendo's website and see what I could find. And apparently it has one trailer on the internet. Now the problem is that it's in Japanese, but I think I get the gist of it, so I'm going to try to translate it so you get the idea too. Type, type, type. We love typing hard. We the dragons. You wish you was the dragons. Click, click, click. We click even more than we type. I'll wreck this circuit board in some esports action. Get out of here, Zach. I was somehow able to build a multi-story esports training complex from the ground up. Don't question it. This guy's name is literally Move Z, and I want to punch him. Oh my gosh, where is this money coming from? Oh yeah, let's rock out to some esports. I really don't have a grasp on esports. We're facing our rivals, the White Blobs. Esports time! Oh yeah, we just rocked the world. That's probably pretty close to accurate. In any case, we've had just about enough of that. Finally, let's look at sales. I think in March, Switch game sales were probably really good, and Switch system sales were probably alright. This month, they'll probably both be kinda relative to what they usually are, because it's April, and also, there isn't really much going on. I still don't know why I do this part. This has concluded your Nintendo Switch April report. Well, I'm Redkwan. How do you feel about the Switch's March, and how do you think its April will be? Hopefully it isn't like April 10th by the time this is out, but who can say for sure? Actually, I can pretty confidently say it'll be out on the 8th, and I'm putting it in the recording, so now it'll look bad if I'm wrong. I'm all in on this now, so have a nice April 8th, everybody. Anyways, I'm Redkwan, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.
Hey, look, we're going over there. Making new videos so you better behave. Oh, hey, that's right, you see. Quan through and through in a Zamboni.